All right, Marvel fans. You ready for this? We're diving into Pools of Blood,
Oh, yeah.
the upcoming Deadpool versus Spider-Man crossover.
This is going to be good.
It's not your typical hero versus hero thing, though.
No, not at all.
This time, Deadpool's bringing it back up,
Yeah. His daughter, Ellie.
a.k.a. Cutie-Pool.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
For those who maybe aren't familiar with her, she's a kind of recent addition to the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
You know, she first showed up back in 2013, but she was reintroduced as a mercenary in the recent Deadpool comics.
Okay, so Cutie-Pool, the nickname alone,
Very Deadpool.
oh yeah, I mean, that's got to be tough for her, right? Dealing with that legacy.
I would imagine so.
Is she embracing it? Is she rebelling against it? I don't know. I'm just picturing some really interesting father-daughter dynamics going on in the middle of all this action.
Yeah, definitely. And the nickname, you know,
Oh.
it could be our first clue.
Oh, interesting.
Her journey as a mercenary, especially, you know, with her dad being who he is. That's a thread I'm really interested in. I think this crossover could be a turning point for her character.
Yeah.
You know, force her to really decide what kind of hero she wants to be.
Or anti-hero.
Right, exactly. Or
Yeah.
anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Peter Parker and Wade Wilson, you know?
Oh, so you think Ellie and Miles will have that kind of frenemy thing going on?
Maybe, yeah. It's definitely a possibility. And think about what that could mean for longtime fans.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you bring in a legacy character like Ellie connected to Deadpool into Spider-Man's world. That could have some serious ripple effects across the whole Marvel universe.
Okay, but hold on. We can't just ignore the fact that Miles Morales is a vampire now.
Well,
What is going on there?
yeah, that is definitely one of the more unexpected parts of this whole thing.
How does he even swing from buildings with fangs? Does he crave web fluid instead of blood now? I'm kidding.
Sorta.
I'm sure they'll explain how his vampiric abilities work.
Yeah.
It's a move that's definitely getting fans talking.
Hmm.
Marvel's really playing with the supernatural more and more these days.
And Miles being a vampire is, well, it's a curveball for sure. How will Ellie react to a vampire Spider-Man? That's what I want to know.
Good point.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, this is all going down across 4 issues.
Okay.
Deadpool number 11 and 12, and then Miles Morales. Spider-Man number 30 and 31.
Got it.
Deadpool number 11 drops on February 12th, 2025.
Mark your calendars.
Now, before we get too deep into speculation, let's take a closer look at what we know about the story so far.
Okay, I'm ready. So, someone wants Miles Morales dead, and they hired Deadpool to do it.
But why Miles? He doesn't really make a lot of enemies, does he?
Yeah.
And why bring Deadpool in to take out Spider-Man? Seems like a strange choice.
Yeah, I know, right? There's just so many questions, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
Who ordered the hit? What's their motivation? And how does Miles being a vampire play into all this? It's like a puzzle.
It's like Marvel's just dropping these little hints to get the fans all hyped up trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
Speaking of hints, we know Ellie's involved, but what's her role in all this?
Good question.
Is she going to be all for taking out Spider-Man? Or is she going to have second thoughts?
I think that's the big question.
Yeah.
It could make her character really interesting. You know, she's new to this whole mercenary thing, and she's dealing with her dad's reputation. How she handles this mission, especially since it's a teenage Spider-Man who's also a vampire,
Yeah.
it'll really show us what kind of person she is.
That's a good point. And you know what else? Wade was resurrected just for this fight.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire. How do you think Ellie will react to that? Getting her dad back, but for such a messed up reason.
That's a great point. It adds a whole other layer to the story. It's a moral dilemma inside a superhero fight, inside a family reunion gone wrong. I can already see the fan theories coming.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you think about what Ellie knows about her dad's life and about death and resurrection and even the whole ethics of the superhero world.
But like Marvel's using this crazy story with Deadpool and Vampire Spider-Man to talk about some pretty serious stuff.
I think that's what makes it so clever. They're using these over-the-top characters to tell a story that everyone can relate to, even with all the supernatural stuff.
I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. But beyond this story, this could have some big consequences for the rest of the Marvel Universe.
Now you're talking. That's what I'm really interested in.
Right. This could be the start of something much bigger. I mean, could this be like Ellie's big break? You know, like her becoming a major player in the Marvel Universe?
It's possible.
And what about Miles? Will he stay a vampire? What does that mean for him as Spider-Man?
Right. It's like throwing a rock into a pond and we're watching the ripples spread.
Yeah.
So many possibilities, especially for those fans who love the long game, you know? How these stories all connect.
Absolutely. And, you know, there are those fans who are really into the supernatural side of Marvel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This could really blow that whole part of the universe wide open.
I know, right?
Imagine the team-ups.
Yeah.
Maybe even a new Midnight Suns with Miles in charge.
The speculation's going to be crazy, and that's part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
We get these little clues, and then we get to put our detective hats on and figure out what it all means.
And sometimes, honestly, the fan theories are better than the actual comics.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see what people come up with for Pools of Blood.
Me too. It's going to be wild. But in the end, comics are all about this back and forth between the creators and the fans.
Yeah.
Marvel throws out these ideas, these challenges, and we get to react to them, make it our own.
Exactly. So to all our Marvel fans out there, we want to hear from you.
Yeah. What do you think?
What are your predictions for Pools of Blood? What questions do you have? What crazy theories are you cooking up?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and maybe we'll talk about them in our next deep dive.
Until then, keep those spidey senses tingling.
And your katana sharpened.
The Marvel Universe is only getting wilder.
And we'll be here to break it all down with you.
See you next time.
And remember, true believers in the Marvel Universe, death is rarely the end. And family reunions can get really, really messy.
Yeah.